Imagine being a young girl, now destined to go through life with a deep voice that doesn't belong to you. Every time you open your mouth to speak, you hate what comes out and feel that pang of sadness. This is abhorrent child abuse, pure and simple. Congratulations to this guy for perfectly summing up the trans experience. Trans men go through life hearing a voice that isn't their own. Trans women go through life hearing a voice that isn't their own. That's exactly the point. What this person has just described is that growing up, hearing something that doesn't feel right to you, feeling something that doesn't feel right to you, being in a body that you feel like doesn't belong to you is bad. And that's why trans people transition. Special thank you to my YouTube members and patrons for supporting the channel and supporting my content. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we are once again returning to r/AccidentalAlly. Nothing says conservatism like being bad at being transphobic. Let's take a look, shall we? Someone just passed me and said emo boy. I know they wanted it to be an insult, but like, they called me a boy. Yeah. Nothing like a little bit of gender affirmation to get the day going, right? Not a vagina owner, not a menstruator, not cisgender, not a cervix haver, not a chest feeder. We are women. Yeah, women can be all of those things or none of those things. Congratulations. Not all women are those things. That's the point. Bugs are not food. Men are not women. The news is not real. Climate change is not a threat. mRNA injections are not vaccines. The government is not your friend. Pedophilia is not a sexual preference. So I have seen this post before and actually wrote up a reply to it, so I'm gonna go based on what I already said. Let's just break this down, shall we? Number 1, bugs are not food. Dozens of countries eat bugs. All over the world, bugs are eaten. Bugs are considered food to a lot of people in a lot of places, and are quite healthy in fact. So rightfully, they are considered food in a lot of places. Men are not women. Correct. Trans men are men. Trans women are women. Men are not women. Number 3, the news is not real. And I responded with like, none of it at all? Pretty bold statement when a large amount of news is very easily verifiable, with fake news being regularly debunked in this day and age. It's very easy when you read a news article or watch news on the TV to actually go and verify the news that is being said. It's very easy. Climate change is not a threat, they say, after thousands of species of animals have already gone extinct or are currently endangered. You don't even have to look at animals. Look at the effects on algae in the ocean, one of our primary sources of oxygen in the planet, being drastically affected by temperature and acidity changes in the ocean, directly a result of human industry. mRNA injections are not vaccines is an interesting one because they don't know what the definition of a vaccine is, clearly. Vaccines are a constantly developed science. If something is established to work better with little to no risk, it will be used. This person probably also believes that the COVID vaccines, for example, shed, which isn't true. It's incredible that people will go online or make posts or signs like this that say none of the news is real, and yet will dive headfirst into believing without verification anything they read on Truth Social. Number 6, the government is not your friend, and no one believes this. I mean, did these people forget that the entire BLM movement existed or exists? For the last few years, they were shunning the BLM movement for disagreeing with the government, disagreeing with police enforcement, disagreeing with treatment. They shunned people for that, and now suddenly they think that the people they were shunning for this just think the government is their friend? Double think. It's always double think. And finally, pedophilia is not a sexual preference. Yeah, and no one thinks that. Pedophiles are not welcome in LGBT spaces. No LGBT people welcome them or want them there. It is pedophiles that try and force themselves into those spaces and are rightfully condemned for it. But interestingly, the people that make posts like this are usually religious, right? And they'll talk about these things. They talk about how LGBT are going for the kids and all of those things. But they don't want to talk about, I don't know, for example, the fact that Chicago just doubled its list of religious just practitioners who have predated on children. 72 new names added to their list. But they don't talk about that because they can't talk about people from their own groups doing these things because that would make them look bad. Interesting priorities on their lists as well, that bugs are not food is the top of the list and pedophilia is at the bottom of their list. Interesting priorities there. Elliot Page be trying to talk about inequality like anyone gives a fuck what a white man has to say. Well, at least they're admitting that he's a white man. Like, it's a great attempt at discrediting someone, but not quite there, is it? They didn't quite check their facts before they said it. As usual, that's kind of a running trend, really, is not checking their facts before they say things. But, you know, hopefully they never do, because it gives us great comedy like this. The minute transphobes learn to fact check and learn to actually learn what they're talking about, I'm gonna be out of content to make. You will never be a woman. Thanks, man. The fact that they were like, oh no, I wasn't insulting enough. Quick, I have to do something. I have to change it. I didn't insult them. I'm acknowledging that they're just bad at this. It's like, you, in trying to insult them, they said you will never be a woman, which is like the point of a trans man. And then when the person was like, thanks, they were like, oh, sorry, I meant man. But like, the damage is done, right? You've already screwed up your insult. You've already told them that you didn't realize that they were actually a trans man. Like, it's too dumb. It's too dumb.
Okay, here's a question. Let's say that we're 20 years into the future, we have brain transplant surgery. Let's say that I take your Rob's brain and I put it into a cis woman's body. Let's say that you wake up and you're like, this feels really wrong. I feel like I feel like a man and now I'm in a woman's body. Would you say that like that's a disorder, that you have a disorder there?
I would say I have a disorder, an illness, or something that's wrong physiologically or mentally with my body, yes.
And then what is the disorder?
The disorder is that my brain is in the wrong body.
Okay, so what is a solution for that?
Put my brain in a body that more aligns with what my brain is.
Okay, you just stated exactly that. Okay, I love you. You are the most trans-positive conservative I've ever argued with. So that is exactly the position that trans people take, is what you should do is you need to make the body match what the brain says. So that's why we have things like hormone replacement therapy, sex reassignment surgery. It's to make the body match what the brain is experiencing. So what you just said is that exactly.
Okay. It cuts off right before I'm assuming the dude was about to completely backpedal on his statement. But like, they're so close to getting it. Conservatives can be so close to understanding it, so close to getting it. And it's like, you just explained to me why trans people feel the way they feel and why they need to do something about that. And you didn't understand that that's what you just explained. It's like, come on. Like earlier when they were like, oh, a girl growing up with a voice that's not her own and the effects that's gonna have on her, and it's like, yeah, trans people go through that. That's the point. That's why we have hormone replacement therapies and sex reassignment surgeries. It's like, they feel like they're in the wrong body. They need to be in a body that more aligns to what their brain is telling them they should be in. That is the point. If you put a cis person in a trans body, it's gonna feel wrong because that's not the body their brain is telling them to feel like. That's the point. A cis man being transitioned to a woman is going to feel wrong. That's not going to feel like his body because he is a cis man. Now you change it. Now you have a trans man in a woman's body. The trans man's still in the wrong body. He doesn't feel like that body is his. That is why these surgeries exist. I love Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII. LeMayo, are you gay for him? Ew, no, I'm not heterosexual. OMG, you're finally coming out? What? I said I'm not heterosexual. I'm so proud of you. Huh? Oh, it's just funny. It's just a funny one. There's a little mistake, not understanding what it means, but Vagina owner? You mean woman? No, not necessarily. A trans woman is still a woman. I've never seen someone so bad at transphobia. He is not wrong. Trans women are women. Very valid, very correct. But not everyone that has a vagina is a woman. Just saying. But I like, you know, he tried. He really tried. He's not good at it, but he tried. Who is he? Purple is a girl. Always has been. No, purple is non-binary and uses any pronouns. Okay, so I could call her a she then. Yeah, if you want. That's generally what all means. They're not a girl, okay? They might use any pronouns, but they're not a girl. You can still call them a she. That's always been allowed, but they're not a girl. It's just people that are like, oh, they use any pronouns, and they're like, oh, so I can call them a she. It's like, yeah, that was always allowed. For someone that uses any pronouns, calling them a she, that was always allowed. Yeah, drink your milk too. You know, the thing that you can't produce. Well, I'm pretty sure he's a trans dude, I think, judging by his bio. So yeah, he can't. You're a good man for accepting trans people. Thank you. I accept that they are a man and will never be a girl. Dude, he's a trans dude, meaning he's a dude now. So yeah, thanks for agreeing with him. It's always the same thing. It's always, they make these statements because they are completely oblivious to the fact. And then they're corrected and they double down, not realizing that they're just making themselves look even dumber. And the final post. Every time I use they to refer to a single gender unknown person on Tumblr, another piece of my grammar-filled heart shatters and the pieces scatter at the bottom of hell. They has been a singular pronoun for hundreds of years, you melodramatic dipshit. Well, actually no. They is plural. People use they when they should use he, she, or it. Dense motherfucker. The pronoun they is an English equivalent for the third person indefinite singular and has been for literally centuries. It remains morphologically and syntactically plural, therefore you don't need to shit your little pantaloons at compromising your surely rock solid grammar rules. I guarantee every funkin' time you've had to refer to a person of an unknown gender, you've used they subconsciously. The post clerk gave me a message for you. Oh, what did they say? But you only have a problem with it when people specify it as a pronoun for themselves because you're a shoot lord, I funkin' guess. Yeah, I've never put it quite so eloquently, but yeah, I've talked about this before. They as a singular pronoun has always been a thing as far as they has been used as a pronoun. Someone drops their keys. I wonder where they are. Singular pronouns. They, someone who has not disclosed their gender or is gender indeterminate. Always been a thing. Always. You can read any ancient dictionary, okay? You can read a dictionary from the 80s and it will still list they as a singular pronoun alongside a plural pronoun. It's interchangeable. It can be either. All these grammar Nazis talking about how they has to exclusively be plural don't even know grammar and it's embarrassing. At least learn the subject you're talking about. And that's where I'm going to end the video, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. Oh boy. If you want to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click that join button to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. Special thank you to all of the people that do support my channel over at Patreon, all my YouTube members. All of your names are up on the screen right now. You guys are amazing. It means so much to me, so thank you so much. Honestly, just keep being you. You're awesome. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really hope you've enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.